like this. Go. My nigga telling me to praise to Allah. With some cold-blooded killers standing right in front of y'all. Everybody got a pistol, neither one got a heart. Selling drugs, every fight, it was hard in the north. But I say, all well, all praise to my God. Left a stain in the street when we spin out the car. Red bandana tie around the road. Hope my girl could forgive me living life like a star. All red bottoms looking like I walked on the scene. Homicide damage with the pills. Young nigga came up still running from the system. Caught his homeboy stealing out the pack, so he clipped him. Been feeling down, need somebody for the lift. He been fighting with his girl cause he said it don't feel him. Mama said that he got drugs in his system. New image old me, so they miss him. How the fuck I supposed to act with my father in the prison? Tell another nigga listen back then, I ain't listen. Real player with some young niggas round me, crib. With some old heads out of jail, leave a nigga miss. Lot of money, but they still don't understand how I'm living. From the streets to the can, either way I'm living. I'ma rip a nigga up 1 second in a minute. Tell a nigga hit me up if he really got tension. My nigga telling me to praise to Allah. With some cold-blooded killers standing right in front of y'all. Everybody got a pistol, neither one got a heart. Selling drugs, every fight, it was hard in the north. But I say, all well, all praise to my God. Left a stain in the street when we spin out the car. Red bandana tie around the road. Hope my girl could forgive me living life like a star. What I say? Press the button in the door, open up. Let my nigga out the whip. Ain't no shooting out the rave. Got the back and the front sold up. Tell me spin around the block right before you catch a play. Came home, started selling AA. Got some dog food on me with some act in the case. Got a K right in my home if you ran in my place. Put a bullet in his dome once it entered his face. On my knees, praying to God, telling him I'm going home if I don't live up to going hard. One night I ain't go home, girl, acting crazy cause she mad that I'm living like a star. Bitch, I'm straight up out them trenches, I ain't never had a heart. And I'm plugged in the socket, I ain't never had a car. And you want the fancy things, so you better play your part. Told that bitch you don't work, then I swear you gon' starve. My nigga telling me to praise to Allah. With some cold-blooded killers standing right in front of y'all. Everybody got a pistol, neither one got a heart. Selling drugs, every fight, it was hard in the north. But I say, all well, all praise to my God. Left a stain in the street when we spin out the car. Red bandana tie around the road. Hope my girl could forgive me living life like a star. Like a star, yeah.
Muted. I muted us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Bookit Sports community around the world. Welcome back to another episode of The Morning After. Hit the horn. Welcome back to another episode of The Morning After. We're back. We're back. Here's what we're going to do. As I was just saying, Josh is going to go full screen. He's going to give you the Chicago Cubs report, and then he's going to talk about how someone in the Chicago media said that certain teams in the NBA should watch out for another team. And I just want you to talk about that for a second because you're just a Chicago kid. And I think the media is out of their mind. And I also didn't tweet the link. So you're just going to have to go full screen while I do
All right,
that.
I got you. All right. So I got a nice little call. I'm going to start off with the Bulls thing. This is actually insane. The Cubs, best team in the league. We'll talk about that later.
We'll be seeing.
We'll talk about that later. The Chicago media needs to chill out. I'm kind of happy I don't live there anymore and don't get fed this propaganda all the time. But
it's actually propaganda.
It is actual propaganda. My buddy just moved into a new place the other day. Got on FaceTime with him. I was checking out the place. He showed me. He was like, sat down on the couch after he was eating dinner. He's like, dude, I was watching Sports Network earlier this morning. And they were saying that the Celtics and Cavs should be the most scared of the Bulls going into the playoffs because of their quote-unquote run-and-gun offense.
That's led by Trey Jones and Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey, Kobe White, player of month. Don't forget about him. He is good, but I am so happy that I don't live there anymore just so I don't have to hear that. Because for some reason, I would be bought into the Bulls right now. If I still lived in Chicago, I'm so happy I'm not bought in because whoever they play in the first round has a free 4 wins.
All right, we're live.
Free 4 wins.
Free 4 wins.
Free.
Can I just say, too, I think it's funny when you look at the different media bases. I feel like this happens a lot with Chicago, just as like a follower of a lot of Barstool stuff. Obviously, Big Cat's a big Chicago guy, so a lot of his Chicago stuff bleeds into my feed sometimes. And I feel like Chicago's one of those fan bases where it's almost never say die, where it's like, dude, we clinched, so they better be careful with the way we're playing ball.
Yeah.
But it's funny because on the other end, with New York sports, one loss, season's over, dude. Like if you're watching New York radio, or what New York TV after the Knicks lose to the Cavs without Jalen Brunson, I guarantee you the narrative is this team still can't beat a good team. This team's Karl-Anthony Towns is not who we think he is. But then you revert it over to Chicago and you go, hold on a second. The Cavs and Celtics better be scared if those frisky Bulls get into town.
Chicago will always have hope, especially with the Bears and the Bulls, especially those two teams. I mean, dude, the Bears last year, we saw they were 4-2. Everyone thought we were going to be amazing. We lost the Hail Mary against the Commanders, whatever. And then I think we lost 6 in a row. We were 4-7, 4-8, whatever. And we still had a chance to make the playoffs. That was I think we were playing the Lions on Thanksgiving, whatever. That was our last chance. And everybody in Chicago still believed. Everybody. Everybody.
Whereas on the other side, dude, the Jets, we burnt the city down after the 5th game.
It was this. I mean, it was the same.
People started losing jobs.
Yeah.
That's how unhappy the fan base was.
I mean, dude, we fired our first coach of all time mid-season.
But he had that one coming.
Plenty of other coaches had it coming. Plenty of other ones also had it coming. Never say die, though. Yeah, the city of Chicago, never say die.
Literally never say die in the shit. But I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I love that you guys never say die, but also let's have some expectations.
Well, yeah.
The Cavs and the Celtics are not scared of the little Chicago Bulls. And I don't mean little in terms of the size of the gentleman. I mean little in terms of was genuinely one of the worst teams and the East is so weak. You guys would not be in the playoffs in any other scenario.
I mean, yeah, we're a bad basketball team. That is just objectively true. We are a bad basketball team, and we're going to
coming off the bench. It's like a Mario Party. Who's coming off the bench for the Bulls? Here comes Trey Jones.
Literally Luigi. Literally Luigi's coming off bench for the
Bulls. Shout out Money Talk Sports, the Twitch chat. He said I have a Spider-Man book bag waiting to you guys with pudding in my morning for lunch. I didn't read that right at all. I'm going to try that one more time, Josh. I don't think he wrote it correctly, but I definitely did not read that correctly. I have a Spider-Man book bag waiting to you guys with pudding this morning for lunch. That's not my fault that you wrote that like a 5-year-old. That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
Am I frozen on your screen or am I good?
No, you're good.
Okay, sweet.
Are you frozen on yours?
Yep, I'm frozen, but
okay.
It'll fix in a second.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. We're good to go. We'll figure that out. We'll rock in the free world. Josh, let's run the what in the world. We'll talk about some things that happened. I have some takes I want to get off my chest. Not necessarily takes. I just want to have some conversations. But before we get there, just to end the intro of the show, give you guys a little taste of what I'm going through in life right now. Spent last night. Wow, I almost blend into the wall, Josh, and it looks like the outline that is black is my body. That's a slender man.
What do you mean?
This looks like it's blending in with the wall.
Yeah.
If just this, that is a slender man. Spent 3 hours yesterday buying, you ready for this? I'm adulting. Just hold on. Bedside tables.
Okay.
Posters.
Okay.
And picture frames.
Nice.
And dude, I made can I shake? And I actually want Chat's genuine opinion.
Okay.
On this from Chad and Miss Rex. I'm going to send you, so I made some custom pieces last night for my.
You have a pic on there?
I'm going to try to send one to you.
You can screen share it too, right from there if you want.
Oh, can I really?
If you click present.
Let me see if I can.
If we can get a Mikey screen share for the first time ever, that would be all time.
Okay, let me see if I
that would be all time.
Let me see if I can get this up. Moving chat. See if I can get this. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see if I can do this. Present.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll pick the
share screen.
Yep.
Okay. Oh. Allow. Hold on. Oh, wait. I made this custom on Shutterfly. Tell me if you think this is glaze or if you think it's going to be cool in my apartment, chat.
Is it glaze?
So I picked my 4 favorite Drake photos and then my favorite song on Spotify, and I made my own custom Drake picture.
You should.
Is that not sick, dude?
You should take all of it and make it into one of those what are they called?
It's on a metal, it's gonna be on a metal frame.
Photoshop it to where, those where it's yellow, blue, red, and green.
Sure.
but they're all like monochrome. Like the
Yes.
entire picture's green, the entire picture's red. Like
Yes.
that would be sick.
Well, I tried to do black and white with the It's If You're Reading This Too Late and the Spotify background with the black and white of him from 5 a.m. on Glenwood. And then I did this photo at the top right has been my Spotify background for my drinking playlist forever.
Mhm.
And then I just thought that picture on the left is just such a vibe with my city in the background, just like him on the bed for his tour. Is that glaze?
I mean, it's definitely glaze. I mean,
It's definitely glaze.
I mean, 100% glaze.
but I made that custom by myself.
custom.
Is that not cool?
No, that is cool.
But so 3 hours spent doing not just that. 3 hours buying stuff though.
Yeah.
I got a Jets poster. I made a custom Knicks one, and it's the photo of Josh Hart helping Jalen Brunson off the ground, and Carl Anthony Towns and Deuce McBride are next to him. So that's gonna go right above my couch with the Drake. And then I bought a Jets one. No, I bought 2 bedside tables. You ready for this though?
Keep that Jets one in the closet until
The Jets one is the
something
one. It's gonna go right next to my TV to the left. It's
Mhm.
really cool though. It's like a vintage. It's like Jets, and it has a green stripe and then 2 black ones, and it's Joe Namath.
That's it.
So I'm not going current Jets.
That's a
Just
good-
W Jets poster.
Good move.
And then I bought. You ready for this one here?
Mhm.
This is real deal adulting.
Mhm.
Bought 2 bedside tables for the first time since I moved here.
Wow.
You ready for this though? LED light shelves.
Wow.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Wow.
And I did purchase an Oakland Athletics long wooden thing, but we're not going to talk about that one.
That's kind of wild.
We're not going to talk about
So
that.
you're full fandom.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's just to commemorate my first season of caring about baseball in my entire life.
Okay.
Because I care about the A's. I watch the A's, which, by the way, we're going to talk about in the What in the World. Lawrence Butler is just really letting me down, and I
Mhm.
didn't like it. I'm
Mhm.
upset with him, but I'm not done with him.
Mhm.
I'm getting close, though. I'm getting close. Getting close. We're just all in on the A's, dude. My buddy, by the way, I've called him to place the wage on the Blue Book in New Jersey.
Mhm.
And then he was like, well, now I got to place the wage. So he put $100 on it. And yesterday we got the wind is on our side, boys. He got his Oakland A's hat in the mail yesterday because he was like, now I need the merch. So he bought a hat. The hat just arrived. He sent me a photo of him wearing the hat. He was like, now we're on the road to 85 wins. So we're back. The wind's on our side. We're back in action after getting our shit beat in by the Cubs for 3 straight games.
Yeah, that was bad.
But now we got the hat. We're good to go.
Okay.
We're good to go.
All right.
Let's run the graph and
All
talk
right.
about some sports.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to What in the World. Let's talk about having in sports last night, Josh. We had a conversation about Russell Westbrook yesterday.
Mhm.
And I feel as though yesterday the game that they played then last night, perfectly aligned with the conversation we had, but it reinforced the point we didn't make, which is the Denver Nuggets last night had to play without Jokic, Murray, and Gordon, which, you say, okay, that's your big 3. You're out of there. That's a really hard game to win. But as a championship contending roster, it shouldn't be very difficult to beat this Spurs team.
Mhm.
It really shouldn't. If you're the Denver Nuggets and you're as deep as you are, it should be a challenge. It should be a challenge. But if you're a championship contending roster, you should be able to beat the Spurs if you're the Denver Nuggets without those 3. And given it's going to be a challenge, very difficult. I'm saying it's going to be very easy. But what I am going to say is last night reinforced the point that we didn't make that we should have made, which is Russell Westbrook has never and will never be a winner. Russell Westbrook last night, after completely throwing away a Jokic 60-point triple-double, which I still don't think is talked about enough, by the way. That was potentially the worst stretch an NBA player has ever had in terms of 3 straight possessions. You look at the stat sheet and you go, this Nuggets team had to go through Russell Westbrook last night. He had 30, 11, and 5.
Mhm.
That's the Russell Westbrook. Like, that's a revenge game of Russell Westbrook. But then you check the final score and he lost. And I think that is the Russell Westbrook experience to a T.
100%.
And why I don't think he worked on the Lakers, because I think LeBron is very good at identifying winners, and which is why he now glazes Austin Reeves. And why when the Lakers got Luka Doncic, he went on a podcast and went, listen, I lost my best friend Anthony Davis. This kid is the most incredible kid I've ever seen in my entire life.
Mhm.
Russell Westbrook has never been a winner, and he won't ever be a winner because of the way he plays basketball. And like you said, extremely inefficient.
Very inefficient.
And very inconsistent.
Yeah.
But when you look at the box score, he's the perfect box score fan to be of. Because you go, dude, Russell Westbrook had 30 points last night. Like, this is the guy I've been telling you guys about. He's in his 30s, still at 30 points. But then you got to check the game. You go, still lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's been his entire career. I mean,
his entire career.
Even when he was with the big three, when they had Harden and KD, I mean, they got to the finals, got smoked in the finals. I also think that
they've now brought him. Sorry.
No, you're good. I think that Russ, his biggest problem is that for him to play as good as he can, he needs to be the number one option. Like, he has to be. But also, when he's the number one option, he's very susceptible to turnovers in really big situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if that happened last time. I'm just saying in general, his entire career, that's kind of what he's been terrible at. And he also can't shoot the basketball.
Can't shoot, dude.
When you can just force him to go to the rim and send help.
Dude, they schemed against the Clippers last playoffs that he was in to let him shoot the ball. That's how bad at shooting he is. They sagged on him and gave him free mid-ranges.
Yes.
And I agree, dude. I agree with 207 Maniac's comment in the YouTube chat. And I think this is a perfect way to describe Russell Westbrook. You think about the teams he's been on. He's been on one of the most talented Oklahoma City rosters potentially ever to grace the NBA when you look at where those three players are now, given only one of them is a winner and he had to be on the best team of all time to do it. KD is another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
They then brought him to a Houston team that almost made an NBA Finals, and they thought, this is the guy that'll be the last piece. Then he went to a Clippers team that everyone went, dude, the Clippers are a piece away. They just need a point guard. But before that, he was on the Lakers where they went, okay, the Lakers just won a championship. All we need is another point guard. And I think what 207 Maniac's point was in the YouTube chat, and I think it's a great way to describe Russell Westbrook, and I don't mean as a person, as a father, as a basketball player.
He's a great dude.
He is a talented loser.
Yeah.
He will never be a winner in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I think you saw that when Jokic has a 60-point triple-double and then has to sit out the next game because he's like, dude, I'm not like, give me a break, brother.
Yeah.
You just threw that game away.
When was Russ the best in his career? I feel like it was when he had nobody around him.
Yeah, 100%.
Him and Steven Adams, because
100%.
he could do whatever he wanted in the game. Like, I feel like an actual good basketball player should get better when there's better players around him, and he somehow gets worse.
Dude, he hasn't been able to win with MVP Harden, MVP LeBron James, potential, you could make the argument at the time, MVP Kawhi Leonard, a Paul George that was, I'm not going to say peaking, but very good Paul George.
Scoring title
KD. When you look at the teams and guys he's played with.
Yeah. And they've never really been that close.
No.
I mean, that one time.
Well, they never get close because when it comes down to him and he gets a crunch time shot, he's incapable of doing what great NBA players do. What guys that were on championship rosters that play that point guard position that do. Rajon Rondo, Mario Chalmers, that are able to go, oh, I'm kind of wide open for this shot, but I'm not the guy. Yeah. And Russell Westbrook, ever since he won that MVP, which, very fair to him, unbelievable at the time, but I think to your point, it was just him, is he can't turn that side of his brain off now that the athleticism is leaving him.
100%.
And you have to be able to do that. And I think Carmelo Anthony talks about it on podcasts all the time now. Not that he ever got to do it, but Carmelo Anthony was like, it was really hard for me to understand that maybe coming off the bench is best for me. Maybe only getting 2 mid-range shots a game is what's going to help this team win. And I don't think Russell Westbrook is ever able to go, here's my role. This is the role I have to play. I think Russell Westbrook goes, okay, if I'm coming off the bench, the minute I'm in the game, I'm turning that animal back on. And it's like, dude, you just don't have that animal anymore, brother. Like, you don't have it.
I mean, he does inside of him. It's just, that athleticism is kind of gone. It's not gone. I mean, he's still an insane athlete, but
him missing that layup, prime Russ that's on your head top.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like he's still a great athlete. He's just not the best athlete in the league anymore, which he 100%. Used to be. So.
And I think it's also an issue that the Denver media tried to sell you Russell Westbrook when he signed. But the Denver media went,
well, that's the thing.
You guys are scared of Russell Westbrook. You guys are scared of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
We got Jokic. I tell you what, Russell Westbrook has never played with Jokic before. Now you give him Jokic, and it's like, dude, we got to know who Westbrook is. If LeBron James gives up on you, I just got news for you. In this state of the NBA, LeBron James gave up on Dwayne Wade on the Cavs after 3 months. People forget that, but that's his best friend.
Yeah.
When LeBron James gives up on you and says, you got to get the hell out of here because you play losing basketball, there's no other teammates you can put him around to make him better.
That was Sebastian Maniscalco-esque. How you just said that. You know what I'm talking
He's
about?
goated, yeah.
He is goated.
He's goated.
Play that back. Someone clip that. We're going to play that back later.
Someone put Sebastian Maniscalco talking about his Italian father and then put me talking about Russell Westbrook go to the Denver Nuggets.
Same thing. Same thing.
But speaking of winners, losers, I tweeted it last night. And I feel like sometimes I over-exaggerate and I say, I got a ton of DMs. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's like 2 or 3 and it just feels like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Which for a normal person, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You put something on the internet, you get 2 DMs, you're like, whoa. Tweeted yesterday, and I genuinely do believe this, Josh. We had a 10-point lead out the jump. It got up to 15. We were playing unbelievable basketball. Josh Hart was playing unbelievable basketball. If we're fully healthy, we beat the crap out of that Cavs team. And I think, I got a couple DMs in from the Cavs fans. It was 2. One guy said, time to learn the Cavalanche, which is a real thing, by the way. I learned it live last night. It's incredible. All you have to do is bet them live when they're down, and they will win the game.
The Cavalanche.
And then the other kid said, brother, that was it. And I clicked on his bio and it just said Cleveland sports fanatic. So I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But I think to my point is the reason why I said that the Knicks are still over against the best teams, which is really, really upsetting. So I just wanted to see one go through the hoop. Because now once you get past All-Star break and you start getting into March, Josh, and we start getting towards April, we're in April now.
Oh, we are. Yes.
Holy shit. Yeah. Whoa. Once you start getting into April
it's the 3rd.
and you start getting near May, these games matter to me mentally because you got to prove that you can beat these teams now. Because now the Cavs are playing playoff ball. This is where when you're an NBA team, you're getting really close to either clinching the NBA playoffs or fighting to make sure you have home court advantage in the NBA playoffs. And this is where coaches start going, all right, we're going to go playoff rotations. We're going to go playoff minutes when we play a good team, and we're going to see how we fare. Mm-hmm. With Jalen Brunson, I think we run them out of the gym with the way we were playing. I generally think when you have that 10-point lead, the thing about Jalen Brunson is he can hold a lead. The problem with Jalen Brunson is when you're down, he struggles to get you back in the game because then he goes, oh, let me try to put everything on my back. And then that's when you get the Jalen Brunson missing layups, missing mid-rangers. I do genuinely believe we would have ran the Cavs out of the gym with Jalen Brunson. What this is showing me, though, Josh, and even though it ended up being almost a 20-point loss, which is tough because you go, okay, you're only missing really one piece, but that one piece is our all-star. He's the face of the franchise. What this did show me, though, is this is the problem with Dibs, dude. And we've talked about it before. We have talent on our bench, but the minute a guy like Jalen Brunson goes down and then Deuce McBride is not as healthy as you want him to be, you're looking at bench players trying to give you starter minutes and affect the game in ways they haven't been asked to all year. Mm-hmm. And that was my problem with the last game, Josh, when we were blowing them out and we didn't take Josh Hart out. Because those are 3 minutes you give a bench player to go, okay, impact the game for 3 minutes. Normally it's impact the game for 2 minutes and then the starters come back in. Impact the game for 3 whole minutes and see how you fare. Even if we're up 15, try to impact the game. And then you see in a crunch time game, Tyler Kolek's minutes go down after playing almost the entire game against the Sixers because you go, he can't do shit. Yeah. Because you're asking him to have starter impact. And I think that's where we're going to run into problems in the playoffs and why I'm going to say it now, and I don't want it to be true, why we might be a first-round exit is because of games like this, where, God forbid, someone on the Knicks gets hurt in a playoff series, and these guys, you now go, hey, Deuce McBride is a starter. Just, DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, you guys are going to have to give us 25 minutes and really impact the game instead of getting 15 and make 2 threes. Yeah. And that's where it was upsetting last night to go, shit.
Yeah, I think the Knicks made a mistake. I mean, not getting Karl-Anthony Towns, but obviously they got rid of a lot of depth.
A lot.
When they got Karl-Anthony Towns. So
And I hate to say it, dude.
They might be in a dude. I agree with you. If they get one injury in the starting five in the playoffs, like it's over.
Chalk, dude.
Unless it's Bridges. I feel like they could play without Bridges. Anyone else?
And I think to your point too is you gave up depth, but you gave up bench depth that can be a starter. Dante DiVincenzo can start on the Timberwolves right now if they want him to, but he can come off the bench. Dante DiVincenzo can be a starting shooting guard, I think, on a lot of teams in the NBA. But if we kept that core, and by the way, I feel like it's forgotten just because Julius Randle got hurt. I think it would have been easy for Jalen Brunson to learn how to play with Julius Randle, by the way. I don't think it would have been the problem that we think it would be with him learning how to play with you, because you're seeing Julius Randle bend the knee in Minnesota.
He's not good.
But when Julius Randle plays that support role, which I think he could on the Knicks, I think we'd be in a much better spot with Dante coming off the bench than going, Deuce McBride, you went from 11 minutes last year to almost 20 a game. And I love Deuce, dude. But when he's cold, he doesn't have the impact Dante has. Dante's a firecracker. You saw it, dude. He's fucking almost jawed, what's his name, on the goddamn, you know what I'm talking about?
Ron Holland,
Yeah, he almost jawed Ron Holland on the, like, that's what you miss with Dante. You miss the guy that hits a three and fucking does this and is, like, in your mouth and plays really good defense. Deuce McBride is a traffic cone, brother. So you lost depth in Dante DiVincenzo that literally when I watch this team, Josh, the only thing that's missing is Dante DiVincenzo. It's a guy that can come off the bench and give you 20 points or start and give you 20 if someone goes down. And then on the defensive end of the floor is an absolute menace.
Yeah. And now you have Landry Shamit's that guy.
And DeLon Wright, dude. I have Knicks accounts tweeting, DeLon Wright, we knew you could do this. It's like that.
DeLon Wright, dude.
This is what I'm saying, dude.
DeLon Wright.
This is what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, like that's not the guy that you want to be putting your back on if someone goes down.
And by the way, you saw it in the last playoffs. I don't know where it went wrong in Thibs' head and our back office's head that went, brother, in that Sixers series and in the Pacers series, Dante DiVincenzo willed us to wins by himself.
Yeah, he was the guy.
By himself.
Didn't he have I think he had multiple
20-point games.
25 plus point games.
He did.
Yeah.
And he hit game winners.
Yeah.
And now you got rid of him.
And plays defense again
for Landry Shamet, Campaign, and DeLon Wright.
Campaign is.
And it's you watch a game like that, Josh, against the Cavaliers who have depth, who have guys. And given we're missing our guy, so I don't want to completely light the ships on fire. But last night was the first time that what everyone's been saying in the chat has creeped in my head. And I went, the Knicks could be one of the biggest first-round exits we've seen in the NBA in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, dude. It's frustrating.
I'm sure it is. I mean, it's
frustrating.
They have all the potential. I mean, dude, I've said this forever. You can't win a championship without good role players. And they lack that off the bench. There's nobody that steps on the floor that I'm looking at where you're like, this dude could actually give us some trouble.
I'm sorry, but there is no one on our bench that I think could be on a bench on another team. That gets minutes. DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet.
Precious maybe on a couple teams, but he's like a maybe like a low tier back end.
Campaign shouldn't be getting the minutes he gets. That's the problem with the Knicks is that we leverage so much in that starting five that our bench is guys that would be 10, 11 spots on other benches. Dude, Landry Shamet hasn't played in 4 years, and now he gets 15 to 20 minutes a game. Do you know how absurd that is?
Yeah, it's insane.
Do you know how absurd that is?
I mean, dude, realistically, there's only so many shots to go around. Like you see, Mikal Bridges played 36 minutes, only took 6 shots yesterday. So it's like you're paying that much money for Mikal Bridges when you can go get a guy for a third of the money as Mikal Bridges that could take 6 shots a game and go 3 for 6.
Tim Hardaway Jr. could give you 6 shots.
Exactly.
And then you can get 20x.
But then you can get another guy that actually adds depth, like a 6th man or a 7th man that actually.
And dude, I'll say that, Josh. And I don't know if this is a crazy take. I don't know if this is an insane take. And I just want you to check me if it is. I think Dante DiVincenzo is better than Mikal Bridges in the system. And we gave up 5 picks for Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, better basketball player than Dante DiVincenzo. In this system,
that much better.
But in this system, Dante DiVincenzo is the better player. And you gave up a ton when you gave up Dante DiVincenzo. And then you went and got Mikal and gave up 5 picks.
Yeah.
You don't give up 5 picks for a guy that takes 6 shots.
I think Mikal Bridges has been traded for 15 first-round picks, total in his career, in all the trades combined. But yeah, dude, I agree. I think that I didn't really look at it like this in the moment, but now looking back on it, it is kind of silly to go get a third, fourth option on a max deal.
Well, what you needed to do, Josh, was you needed to go get Cat. So I'm okay with giving up Dante.
Cat's fine.
But what you shouldn't have done is then leverage the future with picks for a Mikal Bridges that you don't really use and you don't really need right now. You don't need him. You don't need him. There was no reason. Giving up Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo for Karl Anthony Towns is one of the best trades of all time in terms of what you got back for what you gave up. But then when you look at how else we spent and operated filling out that roster, we went one of the best trades of all time is going to get Karl Anthony Towns for only giving up two guys that by all counts have sucked on the Timberwolves. But then you went and leveraged the future for Mikal Bridges in one of the worst trades of all time. So it's just, you're just sitting here now losing again to the Cavs with just Jalen Brunson missing. With, by the way, once we're in the playoffs, he's going to average 35, but you should be able to, once you have a 10-point lead, 15-point lead against the Cavs, only missing Jalen Brunson, you still have another all-star in Karl Anthony Towns, you should win those games. But it shows how weak we are everywhere else on the floor.
Yeah.
Everywhere else on the floor.
100%.
But that's the Knicks talk.
That's the Knicks.
That's the Knicks.
That was a good talk about the Knicks. That was a constructive talk.
That's the first time I feel like I've been realistic about the Knicks.
That was a good talk.
We might exit in the first round because, Josh, there are two teams I'm really scared of, to be honest with you, come playoff time. One in the East, one in the West. It's not the Bulls because of the blitz, because of the blazing pace that you play. Dude, if I'm in the West, I'm scared of this Rockets team, dude. I think a lot of people look at this very, 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 very young, very immature Rockets team, and I think they kind of go, well, they're fun. Well, they're fun. Dude, make no mistake. I don't think they can win more than one series, but I think this Rockets team could knock off a really, really, really good team in the West.
Yeah, I mean, dude.
And on the other side in the East, I think the Pistons could knock us off if we get the Pistons. The Pistons and the Rockets are the same team to me right now. They're very exciting. They're very young. They're very immature. I think both those teams are very sneaky come playoff time, dude.
Yeah,
very.
The only thing that scares me about Houston is the potential matchup that they're going to get, I think. I'm looking at the standings here. I'm going to pull up the standings for chat right now. Let me get these up. Because I don't think anything's locked in right now. I mean, obviously, they're locked into the playoffs. What was that noise? They're the 2 seeds. So they're going to play probably the T-Wolves.
But, I think they beat the shit out of the T-Wolves. Like this, and this is why I think the Rockets are so exciting. They're so athletic in every position that, dude, Anthony Edwards, unbelievable, dude. Make no mistake. Everyone outside of Anthony Edwards on that team sucks ball sack.
Well, yeah.
And once you come to playoff time, dude, it's hard to guard a team that has 9 athletic players. 9 of them, dude. You got 9 of them. 9 of them. And they jump out of the gym. And they play good defense.
None of them have done it before, though. Have won anything.
True. Well, Fred's on that roster, which helps me a lot. Yeah. The only guy on that roster I hate is Dylan Brooks. He's a fucking bum. But make no mistake, though. Come playoff time, he's kind of got that juice that makes those young guys probably feel a little bit more confident. Yeah, and I think, too, Josh, I don't know if this is a crazy take. I think the Thompson twins are going to go down as some of the best NBA players of all time, dude. When you watch them play, they are incredible, dude.
Just saying that was one of the crazy
I think so, though. I really do. And that might be a crazy take, but I just think when you watch them as basketball players, maybe not statistic-wise, which, by the way, I think they're putting up fine statistics, their impact on the teams that they got drafted to already has been exponential, dude. If you take Asar off of Detroit and you take Amon off of Houston, they're completely different teams. Yeah, they're completely different teams.
They're really good, but they're not all time.
I do think so, dude.
What is all time? Like what number?
I'm not saying top 10,
top 75.
I think they could be 75? I think they could crack top 100 as the Twins.
Okay.
Keep in mind how young they are. Keep on how young they are, how athletic they are. Dude, and
they also went to rat orgs, and they're good.
Playoff contenders.
Yeah. Well, playoffs. They're in the playoffs.
But this is what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're good.
And
top 100, I can give you because they're so young. I thought when you're saying one of the best players of all time,
no, I'm not saying
makes
top
you
5,
think like top
10,
15.
Dude. No. If I say one of the best players of all time, I'm talking top 100. If I say one of the all-time greats, that's top 10, top 15. So my bad with the verbiage there. But dude, I really don't think it's that crazy of a take, and I'm not trying to Stephen A. Smith take up here. Remove them off those rosters. Those teams are not as solidified in the playoffs as they are right now.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they'll look like in the playoffs, though, because their defense is insane, and they're going to be guarding the best player on the other team.
Dude, and they jump out of the gym, and they can still give you 20 if you want.
Yeah. Guarding.
Dude, and I'm not the only one saying this, though, dude. Cade Cunningham literally said that if Amon figures out his jump shot, he's going to be one of the best NBA players of all time. That's literally Cade Cunningham really said that in an interview. If he can figure out how to shoot the 3 ball, it's over.
Yeah, he's really fucking good. But people were saying that about Giannis too. So,
but these kids do. But also keep in mind how young they are, dude.
Yeah. What are they?
They have 12 years 20? Left in the NBA, and they're already having this impact on their franchises, and they're only going to become bigger pieces as they get older. Dude, I think these kids are incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
They got to shoot though.
Incredible. And you know, this is one of those where maybe you clip it, and it's a Colin Coward, and he goes, "LeBron, we're good, man. Ben Simmons is here." Maybe me saying that about the Thompson twins is crazy, but I'm okay saying that and it being clipped and you guys saving it and banking it for when they're whatevers. I genuinely do believe that, and I will stand on that because of the impact they've had on their team, how young they are, and just watch them play basketball and then go, ooh, now wait till they get older. Wait till they get older. And by the way, Asar, I'll say it, and this might be another step. When you watch him on the Rockets and he's playing Asar Thompson ball, he reminds me of Anthony Edwards. He jumps out of the fucking gym.
He does jump out of gym.
He jumps out of the gym.
Yeah.
And by the way, they went into teams where the teams went, you're not going to be the number one option. They play their roles. And by the way, guys like that as they get older and as they get better, they are going to be incredible, dude. Because the teams are going to go, we got it. He's the number 2 now. He's number 2.
Yeah. You're talking about Amon.
Sorry, Amon. I mean, they look exactly like their names, Asar and Amon. I mean, could you make them any more simple? Like, when you got twins, don't fuck with the public. You know what I mean? If you know you got 2 NBA twins on the way, let's not, they're already going to look the same. Let's do different letters for their names.
Yeah, I mean, dude, also, they are some of, like, the only twins that, like, legitimately look exactly like I can't tell the difference between them. They look usually, like, with twins, I'm sure, like, people that know them very well can tell the difference, but I feel like usually you can tell the difference pretty easily. Like, they look exactly
100%
the same.
100%.
Exactly the same.
100%. Josh, speaking of the best of all times, speaking of twins, speaking of the NBA, last thing I want to talk about in the association before we move to MLB, I think John Morant should be able to point the AR at the bench. Like, I feel like we're just taking away from, like, we're getting to the point now in the NFL where you can't even express yourself. Like, I feel like we do forget sometimes that, and I don't think the violence is okay, but make no mistake, dude, these kids are coming from the fucking gutter and they've worked their fucking ass off to be in the position they're in. And when Buddy Hield points the rifle first, John Morant can point the rifle back, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they're not actually going to shoot each other out in GTA outside of this game. But if someone does that first to John Morant, he is fully in his right to take out his rifle. Like, that is just what it is, dude. That's what it is. What do they call, Josh? What do they call when you, it's literally a shot when you shoot a basketball. It's called a jump shot. So when they make a 3, you shoot the ball. When they make a 3, God forbid, you hit one of these. God forbid, you air out the bench. I think last year when Ja took out the fucking rocket launcher, that's where you got problems. But make no mistake,
I think the rocket launcher is better than the gun. I'm not going to lie.
But dude, either way, like, if you're not capable of a human being watching that game and going, oh, he's just celebrating his bucket and going, oh, that makes me want to take out my rifle and shoot someone in GTA, then you're just an idiot. Like, we're just like, dude, you can't even celebrate in the NFL anymore. And now you're going to suspend John Morant because someone took the iron out on him and he took the iron out back on him. And by the way, these two teams hate each other. And then you got grown man Draymond Green walking back to the ref going, did you see it? He took out his finger guns. He took out his finger guns.
That's
like, dude, fucking shut up.
Like, that's crazy. I do kind of understand where the NBA is coming from because John Morant has put them in some tough situations. Some tough situations.
Which
So
I
like, him
agree.
to continue to do it is kind of like, dude, can we just?
But then like Mikal Bridges gets fined for doing this, and it's dude, give me a break.
I think
dude.
specifically with Ja, like
Well, yeah, for
it's like,
sure.
dude, can we
But
just?
someone did it first.
Dude,
If you retaliate iron, you shouldn't get in trouble.
I completely agree, but I think that I understand where the NBA is coming from because this dude won't stop. He will not stop with the gun.
But dude, I just feel like it's become now like a
It is
greater
crazy.
issue.
It is crazy that they're like suspending guys and doing shit. But like, yeah, it's just the person that's doing it.
But I
That's
think
what it
here's the
is.
thing about it. Here's the thing about it. I also love that shit. Like I love them.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome.
I also
but
love
it
when
just-
Kyron Lacey scored a touchdown and just put the
Oh
iron
my
on
God,
that
yeah,
kid's head.
was, and,
Like that
and
is
was like shocked when he got the flag.
yeah, yeah. And then was on the bench like, you know what I did? I did that, and he went, oh, like make no mistake. I love that shit. Like that shit gets me going because that's like, dude, these guys are competing. These guys are going up against each other. These guys have worked their entire lives to make it to this league. Tensions are absurdly high. Maybe they grew up in really bad areas, whatever it is. Like, dude, make no mistake. I've played in a YMCA gym and hit a three and hit one of those on the guy that was guarding me. And he's been a middle-aged white guy. Like sometimes it just comes out. Not that I have any background to be like, it's coming out of me. I can't stop it.
Yeah.
But dude, sometimes it just feels good to be like, that was on your head. Literally on your head.
Yeah, on your head. You can do you can do other things if you're
For
Ja Morant.
sure,
You can
dude.
do multiple other gestures.
You know,
if you're
Jalen
Ja
Brunson
Morant.
hits this. I
Yeah.
like that. But you're taking away Mikal
I
Bridges'
like
this. That drives me
I
crazy.
wonder if you could do the reload still. Like the reload where you go like that.
No way. I don't think so.
I mean, that's
dude, we're
all
not even.
time.
But here's the thing, though. Buddy Hield pulled out the iron first. So who's in the wrong?
I would always lean towards Ja's probably in the wrong. He should probably have the wherewithal to stop with the guns.
But these two teams fucking hate each other.
I get that. I get
So when Buddy Hield pulls out
Dude.
the iron, if I'm on the Grizzlies, I want to look over and see Ja going back to the bench with the iron out.
at the same time, are you a 5-year-old? It's like I'm gonna point a fake gun back at you. It's like, dude, like that's what I don't get.
I love it.
I love it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
but I
God
also-
forbid Ja Lanks.
But I but I
forbid.
also think that it's like it's so dumb. Like you are grown men pointing fake guns at like handguns at each other.
That's a
thinking you
good
look
point.
sick.
That's a good point.
Like
That's a good point.
come
Maybe
on.
that's a good point. That's how you wrap it up. You're a grown man using finger guns.
Yeah,
Good
and you're
point.
like, and Draymond Green's running to snitch on you. It's literally like you're like in 5th grade, 4th grade. Like Draymond Green's like your little
Draymond Green's
brother.
snitching is just insane.
Well, it's like the two older brothers are like fucking around pointing finger guns at each other, and the little brother Draymond Green goes and runs to mom, who's the ref. Mom, Dad,
He's using
they're
finger
using
guns.
Yeah, that's literally Draymond Green, little bitch.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think I had a wrong take there. Grown men using finger guns is not cool. But however, Kyron
But
Lacey
it
putting
is
the
sick.
iron on some kid's head after
that was
scoring
sick.
a
college
touchdown
kids.
is
College
awesome.
kids, sick. But
Yeah.
like, dude, I mean,
But now they're saying, did you
fucking
see,
Buddy Hield-
Justin Jefferson can't do this anymore,
that's well,
and CeeDee Lamb
Well-
can't do that anymore either.
well,
Dude, just wipe the nose. It's a little runny.
yeah. I mean,
You never had a runny nose?
that one's not crazy to me either.
Never had a runny nose?
Literally, yeah.
But this is where these kids grew up, though. I'm not saying like whatever either the way that's gang related or not, but you can't even.
He's from Texas.
Dude, but you can't even lank.
He's not from Atlanta.
They're not
He's
even
from
they're not even
Texas.
letting guys lank anymore. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, they let guys link in college football though, which is good.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
where
love
you need
that.
to link.
Kyron Lacey blew the guy's head off in GTA and
Yeah,
lost
that
the
was
game.
That was insane, dude.
Insane.
I've never seen someone shoot a fake gun and actually have it look like a real gun.
It looked like a real
It
gun.
looked
Like
he
he
looked
put
like he actually shot him.
he put
that
kickback
in
on that
GTA.
thing, like recoil. There's recoil on his finger gun. But make no mistake, dude, that was the sickest thing that happened in college football last year, dude.
That was.
The toe tap into the just like boom. So sick.
They go into brag
Holy
about it on the
shit,
sideline.
that's the biggest fly I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't see it.
It's gone now. Josh, speaking of winning games, doing crazy shit, let's transition to the MLB. Huh? I feel like people want to hear me talk about the MLB. People
do
want to
they?
hear Mikey Over talk about the Major League Baseball Association.
Oh, would that?
And here's the thing, Josh. I'm a casual MLB fan.
Mhm.
I'm going to try to upset some people here. Not fully like put my full effort into it, but I'm going to say some things that I don't think a lot of MLB fans want to hear. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at the size of that fly.
My goodness.
That is a behemoth.
That is a big ass
Other flies would think that's Godzilla. If that fly flew over China, the Chinese flies would start screaming Godzilla.
Yeah.
Dude, it's mucking that light.
Yeah, it is. We'll get it. We'll get it.
Warren saw that fly yesterday. Thanks for killing it. Just letting that thing roam free around. We got Godzilla in the house, letting that thing roam free. I'm going to say some things about the MLB that I don't think a lot of MLB fans want to hear. And just as a casual that's like watched the league a little bit for the past 3 years. Shohei's the best player in the MLB and potentially of all time. And I'm so tired of the Mike Trout conversation because the guy hasn't played baseball in 4 years. And I feel like we're just not appreciating the fact that Shohei Ohtani once again walks off a game for the Dodgers and is just the greatest baseball player on the planet, dude. And by the way, if he put the bat down, could probably be a top 2 pitcher in the MLB. And we're still sitting here going, we're going to get a full year of Mike Trout.
Well, I don't think anyone's arguing Mike Trout.
Dude,
well,
last
I'm saying right
year
now,
when I
right
tried
now.
to make this argument about Shohei Ohtani, all I got was, well, you never watched Mike Trout play.
That is true.
You never saw Mike Trout. Well, guess what? You got to play.
Well, I mean, the last...
And now that he's playing, he looks fucking mid.
He hit a bomb.
And so did Shohei.
And had a base hit.
And by the way, I think Shohei's what? Got 3 already?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, probably. But, I mean...
I'm just tired of us not talking about Shohei.
I mean, I think everyone talks about Shohei.
But every time you try to talk about Shohei, fucking Mike Trout's name gets brought up. And you haven't played baseball, brother.
I mean, he has in recent years, but there was like a 10-year span.
I know where he was. Definitely wasn't 10.
Dude, he's been playing in the league since like 2011.
10 years, though?
Yeah. Dude, I'll just read. So, yeah. Second place finishes in MVP 2012, 2013, 2015, 2018. Won the MVP in 2014, 2016, 2019. So he won 3 MVPs, was second. And that was literally, he was first or second for a 9-year span.
What is Shohei at?
9 seasons, man.
Shohei's got to be getting pretty close, dude.
That's pretty crazy.
Shohei's got to be getting pretty close, though.
He's only played for like what? This is his 4th year, 5th year? No, 5th year.
Dude, this fly is literally Shohei.
Let's see.
It is the biggest fly I've ever seen in my entire life.
Ohtani also hasn't been healthy his entire career. He didn't get the pitch last year.
True.
He was hurt on the Angels for an entire year.
But then it's
well.
like, dude, when he was on the team, he was better than Trout.
He has 2 wins and 1 second place finish.
In 5 years?
I believe it's 5 years, yeah.
In 5 years,
I could be
he's
wrong.
got
Let
2
me
wins
make sure.
and 1 second place finish.
Oh, way more than 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. He's been in the league for that long.
Is this true that Trout has played for 11 years and only made 3 playoff games?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm done.
More than 11 years.
Like, I'm done. You know, this is my problem with baseball and the fandom. It's just, I'm done.
Well, I mean, it's not like...
I am, Josh, done. We need to start having the same energy for Trout that we have for LeBron before he won the finals.
Not
of
the
just
same.
being like, hey, brother, you haven't won dick for balls.
Not the same. It's not the same. When you're on a baseball team, you can hit a home run every single at-bat, and you can lose every single game. You could put up 4 runs yourself every game, and if your team sucks, you could lose every game. LeBron on a basketball team, when it's one person on a 5-player team, so much easier to affect the game.
I'm just going to start being a Mike Trout hater. I'm done. I don't care. You could, like, Josh, I'm not even kidding. You could literally break down pitch by pitch, stat by stat of why Mike Trout is the greatest of all time. I'm a hater now.
I mean,
I just found, I saw a tweet yesterday. It was like, I'm going to find the weirdest hill today and die on it. This is my hill I'm going to die on. Mike Trout is fucking James Harden of the MLB. I saw that comment. Yep. But buying into that.
James Harden of the MLB.
I'm buying into that right now. James Harden. Congrats on your MVPs, Mike. You played in 3 playoff games, brother.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
you
3
played
playoff
in
games.
3
not
playoff
good,
games. 3 playoff games, brother. I'm just tired of it, dude.
I mean,
I'm tired. I'm tired of the bullshit.
What do you mean?
I'm tired of the bullshit. Just every time I try to be like, dude, fucking X, Y, and Z might be the great, and everyone always got to squeak. Well, Mike Trout.
I mean, to be fair,
Mike Trout.
To be fair, Shohei Ohtani, till he went to the Dodgers, had 0 playoff games, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because he's playing with Mike Trout, who's a known non-winner.
He's the pitcher. Pitchers actually have way more of an effect on the game.
But also, Shohei was hitting home runs and striking out 10 people in the same game while Mike Trout was talking about his lower back.
But losing.
Because he's playing with no loser, Mike Trout.
Because
the best ability is availability. Mike Trout's never available.
No, because the Angels are just a bad team.
No, I'm out. I'm gonna die. I will die on this hill, dude. When Shohei Ohtani was on the Angels, he was hitting 2 gags, striking out 10 batters, and losing because Mike Trout was in fucking. Because Mike Trout was at the goddamn country club that Trent used to hand out towels at with his wife, going, "Oh my back hurts. Oh my back hurts. My back hurts." I'm gonna die on this hill.
Die on this hill. I kind of love it.
I'm gonna die on this. I'm gonna get aired out.
I also don't
get John Morant up here. I'm gonna air out.
I don't think that Trout's like hands down better than Shohei Ohtani, but I think that you're making it seem like there's no way that he's.
I think Shohei Ohtani hands down better than Mike Trout. And I'll die on this hill, dude. I'll die on this hill. I'm not gonna add any more players. I just want Shohei to get his respect over Mike Trout.
I mean, if he does,
and I mean just over Mike Trout, not in general. Because I'm so tired. Even 2 years ago, last year, I'd be like, dude, Shohei Ohtani is probably the best baseball player of all time. Every single time I would say that, somebody, Mike Trout? Mike Trout's up there. Brother, you haven't played in 4 years. Unfortunately, you're now removed from the conversation.
Dude, but even if Mike Trout retired 4 years ago, he would still be one of the best baseball players.
But people say the best.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
brother, James Harden's going to be a first ballot?
The best players.
You think James Harden not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
James Harden?
You think he's not going to be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he will.
Okay, thank you. Mike Trout, James Harden of the MLB will never win shit.
But
Mike Trout will never do this. Mike Trout will never do this. You ready, Josh? Just watch.
Dude.
Mike Trout will never do this.
Yeah.
He'll never do that.
He'll throw on a jacket, though.
But he'll never do this.
I mean,
I just want Mike Trout fans to know that now that I'm a Shohei Ohtani believer, Shohei Ohtani is going to be able to do this multiple times.
It's just not the same. Not the same.
Shohei Ohtani's going to be.
But why is Ohtani going to be able to do that? Because he deferred $80 million.
Who?
Ohtani.
Yeah, winner. That's what winners do. Mike Trout probably filled his gross gut up with money at the Angels.
He didn't.
I bet he did.
Actually didn't.
I bet he did.
He actually didn't. I'm pretty sure he's taken less money like before than he should have gotten to keep Ohtani.
Josh, I'm planted in this hill. Planted in this hill. For no reason. Just because you know what it is? I just want baseball fans to just be pissed off at me.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Because I'm just tired of the baseball fan base. Oh, the Yankees figured out how to make bats so you can actually hit home runs and the sport is fun. I like watching when it's 2-1 in the 9th.
You know what's hilarious? There's actually
Look forward to spider tag because it's cool when pitchers suck balls.
Dude, the torpedo bat is hilarious that it works for like 90% of guys, and Lindor's using it and can't touch the ball.
Why'd you do that?
Just wanted to let you in on that.
There are some things that are just
so
unnecessary out of you. That's one of them.
Just want to let you in on that.
Oh, you're gonna put a pitch clock so the games don't take 20 hours? Oh.
You're just trying to piss people off.
No, I'm just gonna die in the hill of like the MLB is not fun.
It's
the fact that we
fun.
have to make merchandise that I've seen intern Mason wear that says baseball is not boring should tell you that it's boring. No one's coming out here going, let's make college football's not boring t-shirts. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Okay. Josh, just get me off baseball. No, actually keep me on baseball because I want to talk about something that happened in baseball, but that was outside of baseball. That this is an actual good Mikey take. Dude, I don't know if you saw it, but there is a GQ interview going around with Paul Skenes and Livy Dunn. I saw some clips of it last night. Remove the art from the artist. Paul Skenes has a fucking flamethrower of a right arm. He might be the most uninteresting douchebag off the field of all time, dude.
He's so boring.
Dude, but he also just seems like a douchebag.
Yeah.
By the way, keep in mind, you have Livy Dunn. By all accounts, I'd give up both my arms and legs for one sniff. This guy's sitting there in a GQ interview. And keep in mind, Josh, this is what pissed me off. Her job is social media.
Mm-hmm.
What she does is social media. That's what she does. That is her job. That's how she makes her money. That's how people know her. She asked Paul Skenes in the GQ interview, which, by the way, you know you're going in there, it's going to be a relationship quiz. Maybe do some homework. She goes, what's my most viewed reel? Keep in mind, she then goes, well, that's tough for him because he doesn't have Instagram on his phone. Keep in mind, Josh, I understand you got to be locked in. If you're a baseball player and you're a pitcher, you can have Instagram. You pitch once every week. Your DMs on Pittsburgh Pirate fans, they're not going to be mad at you. You're not going to get anything negative thrown at you on the social medias, Paul. So
you're the
grow
only good
up.
player.
You're not LeBron James.
Only good player.
He then goes, "Oh no, I have no idea." And then she's like, "Oh well, it's tough for him because he doesn't have Instagram on his phone. But if you love me, you'd know." And clearly, like, if you're Livy Dunn, social media means everything to you because it's how you became who you are. It's how you're making your money. It's how you've set yourself and your kids up for the rest of your life without Paul Skenes either way. And then he's like, "Oh, I mean, I don't even know. I don't know. I got no idea." And then she goes, "Oh, it's this." And it was clearly like a trend at TikTok at the time with her and one of her teammates. And instead of just being like, "Oh yeah, damn, like, yeah, I should have known that," he goes, it drove me up a wall, dude, because when you got a woman like Livy Dunn in front of you, like, maybe just care a little bit. And he just seems like a kid that everyone told was going to be great at baseball growing up his entire life. And then he was great at baseball. So he just doesn't give a fuck.
He wasn't even a pitcher.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
college.
either way, they were like, "Dude, you're definitely a fucking good baseball player." And then he goes, "Oh, well, how am I supposed to know that? I'm not going to fucking know that." And then she was like, "Well, no point for him." And he goes, oh, now I'm not getting a point. It's like, dude, what do you, like, why? And then she's trying to validate him the whole time. And she's like, "Oh, well, he doesn't, but if he loved me, he would not, like," and then, and then they go, "What's Paul's worst habit?" She goes, "Oh, he gets out of the shower and just everything is wet." And he's like, "Oh, didn't have to think about that one." It's like, dude, if I went on a public media platform and my girlfriend's worst habit of mine was that I just got the floor a little wet after a shower, I'd be like, "Yeah, I could probably just clean it up." And instead he's like, "Oh, you didn't have to think about that one. You have to think about that one." Like, dude, it made me upset watching Livy get done like that because
Livy get done.
I'm a poet. I don't even know it, dude. I don't know. I just didn't like it. It seemed like she's in a bad relationship. It seems like Paul Skenes just came off like a total fucking douchebag, really boring guy.
I think he's just a boring dude and he has no interest in doing that shit. That's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, but then, like,
I think that's just what it is. I think he has no interest in anything that's not baseball.
Yeah, which is fair. Then don't date Livy Dunn. Give her to someone who deserves.
This whole segment is just Mikey trying to get Livy to hate Paul.
No, but he's just like a weird. No, but he is just like a dude. You look at the comments and it's like, Livy, he hates you. Like, he just didn't seem like a good guy in those interviews. And like,
yeah, I mean, I think he is a dick.
Remove the art from the artist. Kid's got a flamethrower, generational arm. But that doesn't excuse you from being a douchebag to your girlfriend. Like, it at least played up for the cameras. It made me not like him. It made me not like him. It made me not like him. Just gonna say that. Made me not like him.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. All right.
Yeah.
Don't take my head off.
Why?
Don't take my head off.
Yeah.
Just made me not like him.
That is crazy.
What?
Saying maybe just don't date Livy Dunn.
Well, what I meant was don't date Paul Skenes from Livy's perspective, because
saying that to him, it's like,
she could literally, if she wanted right now, go get Shohei Ohtani, best baseball player of all time. Best baseball player of all time. She doesn't have to fool around with Paul Skenes.
I think Cameron Brink's got Ohtani.
Oh. She could get whatever she wants, is what I'm saying. There's no athlete, actor, whoever she wants, and she's fucking wasting her time with Paul Skenes, is what it seems like in that interview. Baseball sucks and Shohei Ohtani is better than Mike Trout. All right, just wanted to get everyone back fired up. Get out of that. Just get everyone back fired up. But yeah, I mean, other than that, Josh, in baseball, who is like your team to watch right now? That's obviously not the Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies, X, Y, and Z. Who's going to be the Diamondbacks?
Who's going to be the Diamondbacks? Like, who's going to be like a low-key team that can sneak?
Yeah, just right now. And obviously it could change. It could change for sure. I think it could. I agree with the chat, but I don't think they're on the Diamondbacks level of being this unnoticed when the Diamondbacks did what the Diamondbacks did. I think the Padres could be a real problem this year.
Yeah, the Padres have been trying to. They've been.
But now it kind of just feels, and obviously there's 175 games. So fucking, again, who gives a rat's ass about April baseball? But, dude, it seems like they're kind of clicking.
They are. They 100% are. I mean, Merrill's been cracked out, I'm pretty sure. Everyone's been pretty much cracked out on that team. Luis Urias is such a good addition too last year.
Oh, and by the way, the Athletics traded away Estoy Ruiz, so 71.5 is chalk.
Yeah, chalk. Yeah, I mean, I think like saying a low key team, like they're 7-0, they haven't lost a game, so it's like I don't know if they could be low key, and I think like people kind of expected them to be good. They've been supposed to be good.
So who are you thinking?
Dude, I'm thinking.
Could it be the Tigers sitting at 2-4? Could it be the Red Sox sitting at 2?
I'm going to say the Royals. I'm not going to give up on them.
Oh,
I think they've had a tough start.
Okay.
But I think they'll lock in. I think they'll figure it out.
Okay.
They're only 2-4, and everyone's been talking about them like they're like the worst team. I would say the Cubs too, but everyone's be like, "Oh, it's the most biased take of all time." But
I think the Cubs are supposed to be good this year.
Supposed to win the division. They're not supposed to be like World Series good. Also, I made a bet with Trent yesterday, $100 to win $10K on the Cubs to win the World Series. We checked the books; they're plus 2,000 to win it. So I just got 5 times the odds.
Pull the wool.
Yeah, I think he took the bet with like 9 people in chat. So if the Cubs win the World Series, Trent's fleeing
90
to Cuba.
racks.
He's fleeing to Cuba.
Literally the entire go well.
Yeah,
that
gone.
90 racks.
Gone. But yeah, dude, I would say us, honestly, like I genuinely think that we're a very good team. I think that we need to figure out our bullpen a little bit. If we can maybe address that at the deadline a little bit, I think we have a really good chance of making a run. Like this lineup is fucking
really good,
dude. Like really good.
Really good. I agree.
Ian Happ, I mean, switch hitter at the one spot, and he's been cracked out. It seems like he gets on base every single at bat. And I mean, Suzuki's been Hall of Fame level. Tucker's been Hall of Fame level.
I mean, Suzuki literally just solidified his goal jack against the Athletics.
Also, dude, like when you have a guy like Nico Horner hitting in the 6th spot, who's a single machine, like, give me that. Give me that.
What do you think happens with Tucker?
I think we're gonna have to pay him. We're not trading. Like he's not leaving this year at any point. We're gonna pay him. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. It's also like it's baseball. Like you have fucking unlimited money. Go pay him. Like that's what I don't get. Like there's no cap.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're like trying to fit him in. You know what I mean? Like you can pay him right now. Go fucking pay him. It makes no sense to me. But I mean, dude, I think the A's wagon's gonna be fine. I think they just kind of ran into the Cubs and their bats were way too hot.
No, Estoy Ruiz is kind of a bummer. Just trading him just felt like they were like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Throw it in.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Butler's playing like a hot
Now
bag
you're
ass.
the fucking
So.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Just add the Dodgers. Add another guy to the
Like
Dodgers.
they needed Estoy Ruiz.
Yeah, they need anybody.
Come on, man. They already have the best baseball player of all time. Last thing I want to talk about baseball before we serve some slatage. And he's going to be on in a little bit. So I would, love to address it with him. But Krabs being in the fucking high school baseball lab.
I mean.
That, Josh, there are some things that sheds have names on. That is Shed Hall of Fame.
Yeah, dude.
That is Shed Hall of Fame tweet out of Krabs saying that he found the next Chris Sale. And it's a high school baseball player. Krabs, I'm just going to be honest with you, brother. In GTA, you need your head blown off 4K. That's just, let's focus on the slates. Let's focus on taking prize picks for all they're worth. Let's focus on the Nationals making the playoffs and hitting their win total. Let's get out of the high school baseball lab, brother, because I got news for you. That kid's pitching at kids that have gym class.
Dude.
Where's Krabs?
Guess what his name is?
What's his name?
Jack Bauer.
Literally
24's name? Yeah.
My dad loved that show.
Such a gas show. But that's his name. He's from Illinois, Frankfort, Illinois. How about this? How about this kid? He's he graduates this year, so he's a senior, so he can get drafted this year.
Maybe we'll see him in the MLB when he's 26.
Yeah, but I just wanted to see if this kid was like a 15-year-old that Krabs was like tapped into like a sophomore, but he's a senior. He does throw gas. This kid does throw gas.
Dude, again.
He plays for Perfect Game. That's like a massive thing in Illinois.
Here we go.
I'm just telling you.
Here we go.
A bunch of my buddies that baseball play for Perfect Game.
Here we go.
I'm just saying.
We have the Final Four on Saturday, and we're talking about Chris Sale in high school.
Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer, who's probably got a presentation in AP Environmental Science.
Yeah. Dude, he throws one.
And that's the reality of the MLB, Josh. Maybe we'll see him when he's 28. Maybe he'll be a rookie at 28 on the Athletics.
No, dude, he's throwing a 102 in high school. He's probably
Stop.
102, dude.
Let me tell you about a kid who was busting in high school and that everyone thought was going to be the truth and ended up in the front office. You ever heard of Billy Bean?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Billy Bean? He had every tool in the toolbox.
But one of the best of all time.
You ever heard of Billy Bean?
Yeah. One of the best of all time at his job, though.
But what happened to him in the league?
Was he not? He was ass.
What happened to him in the league?
Was he ass?
Was told 5-tool player. You don't see 5 tools a lot. 5-tool player, Billy Bean.
If you don't see a guy that there was 102.
I feel like you see it all the
In
time.
high school, you do not see guys that throw 102.
Yeah, but again, maybe you'll see him when he's 25.
High school, like, gas is like 89, 90.
Put Jack Bauer on a list,
Put him on a list.
and we'll see him when he's 26.
And he's going to UVA, so Krabs probably is going to hate this
We'll
kid.
see him when he's 26.
Krabs might hate this kid. I don't even know if he knows he's going to UVA. I don't know why he wants him. List. Yeah, write him in there. Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer's on the list. We'll see him when he's 26 in the MLB. And I'll be 40. Going, whoa. Is that the kid that Krabs tweeted about?
He's going to be on the Nats. He's going to be the next Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, also that kid's probably going to go to UVA, get Tommy John, which could be good. Get out of the way early.
Dude, at this point, I feel like people, like the surgery's getting so easy, you should just do it. Like,
I agree.
like,
But not to your kids when
preemptively.
they're young.
Well, yeah, I think like
There's dads that make kids in Texas throw their arm out at 12 years old, which is like fucked up.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I think like when you like go to college, like maybe just do it. Like get it over with.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like if you're gonna like redshirt or something for a year, go fucking get it fixed up.
Get it fixed up, dude. Jack Bauer, go get Tommy John from TMA. Go get it fixed up, dude. Cut the high school season early. Go get it fixed up.
Go get it fixed up. We're good. Jack Bauer, 24.
Did I wake up and choose violence today? I feel like I didn't. I feel like we just had normal conversations, and I got into baseball. A little bit off the rails, and I was always gonna check Krabs for the high school bit.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be up at 6:59 in the morning chefing my prize picks, and then open Twitter and see Krabs saying he found the next Chris Sale. Yeah, and it's a high school kid.
He does look like
throwing at kids that have gym class.
That is very true. It's like kids are still getting a uniform for gym class, the mesh shorts for gym class. And
some of those kids have to literally get picked up by their mom after that game, and they have to go do homework with the tutor.
Yeah. I would say most of those kids are probably doing that.
Jack Bauer, use this as motivation.
Yeah.
See you when you're 26. See you when you're 26, Jack Bauer. Guy like Jack Bauer, you got to let him use the gun.
Ian Smith on Twitter loves Jack Bauer. Loves him. That tweet has 2,000 likes of him throwing. People are dialed in on Jack Bauer.
I'm going to throw some names at you, Josh. Akil Carr, 7th Woods.
7th Woods counted.
You watch those high school mixtapes? I would have said, that's literally the next Dwayne Wade. You know where they are? Playing in the Big Three.
Yeah.
And I got Krabs on my feed telling me he found the next Chris. So I'm going to get Krabs up here, dude. We need to have an actual conversation.
Dude, but like, it does happen. Like, I mean, look at Bryce Harper. Like, when he was 16 years old, I'm pretty sure he got drafted. 1st overall or 2nd overall.
But don't show me high school tape when these kids have gym class. Show me this kid throwing at Shohei in the offseason. The greatest baseball player of all time.
Yeah,
Let's see what he does against Shohei with 102 down the pipe. Because I got news for you. That ball is dust. Dude.
I'm kidding. I'm just pissing you.
LeBron James. Like, LeBron James, dude. Yeah, these are once in a lifetime.
Also, I would guess baseball is a little easier to like move up, and there's no like physical aspect to it. Like if you throw 102, you're still gonna throw 102. Like in basketball, if you're backing down little Timmy, that's 6'2", then you're backing down Dwight Howard the next day. Probably a little harder. The 102 stays 102.
Yeah, and then you stay in the triple A's. And then
and
then you start.
But the 102 stays.
They go, Jack Bauer, you're gonna be the greatest baseball player of all time. We'll see you in the league at 26.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah.
And then you got Shodi Imanaga, 31-year-old rookie, which you just told me before we filmed, which is insane.
Well, he's from Japan, though. He wasn't like in the minors or anything. He was just from Japan.
Might as well send Jack over there. Let's see what Jack can do overseas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah.
Can we see what Jack can do overseas? Get him on a boat. Get him on a slow boat to Japan, and let's see what he can do overseas. You know what I mean? That's what I need to see. I need to see off-season Jack Bauer throwing at Tatis. Tatis worked out with Jack Bauer today.
You should go
make
a YouTube video with Trevor Bauer. Jack Bauer, Trevor Bauer?
The Bauers. Trevor Bauer pisses me off.
Think they're related?
If they are, that kid is fucked.
Trevor Bauer got a bat.
The Trevor Bauer, what I'm just saying, if they're the same, like Trevor Bauer's personality, it just angers me.
He's so annoying.
I think he's a really good pitcher, but like when you listen to his mic'd ups, it makes me like not like him. And I feel like a lot of athletes, when they do mic'd ups, I go, This guy's so cool.
Yeah, he's one of the rare ones. You're like, dude, this dude
Like,
sucks. Yeah,
Why are you speaking like that?
dude, I remember
But he did get fucked up.
You know, the first time
Shouldn't be able to lie like that.
First time he was in national media was when we played them in the World Series, and he was out playing with a drone. He just bought a drone and cut his finger and couldn't pitch.
I'm so out on him.
He missed a game.
Not that I was ever in on him, Josh, but I want you to know I'm so incredibly out on him.
Playing with a drone. And that was when drones, drones are, let's think about drones like 8 years ago when drones are cool now.
Way cool.
Drones 8 years ago, you were a loser.
Dude.
A loser.
If I spotted you playing with a drone 10 years ago, you're fucking
now sick. Back then, loser. Loser. And yeah, it was so funny. Everyone was just roasting him in the national media.
Good.
For cutting his hand on a drone.
Good. Sometimes you got it, though, you know? Sometimes you got it. I'll be honest. Let's bring back bullying just a little bit.
A little bit. All the way.
Just a little bit.
I'm in for all of it.
Just a little bit. A little bit. Just a little bit. But I'm not a hater.
Bully people, bully the bullies, bully everyone.
I literally just talked to Josh pre-show about how we just need to reframe the show a little bit in terms of let's just be two guys chatting about sports. I come in here immediately, take off Mike Trout's head. Josh is dying. Oh my God. Are you good? That sounded wet. That's what she said. Dude, what the hell was that? Are you going to throw up?
No.
Oh. Wrong pipe. Give me a round of applause. You're crying. You have a tear. Let's round of applause, Josh Mason. Way to be a fighter. That's that fighter spirit. That's that fighter spirit. That's that fighter spirit, dude. You fought through that one. Josh, you fought through that one.
Literally tears in eyes. Tears in eyes.
That was insane.
Yeah, chugging on water.
Actually crying.
All right, we're good.
All right, we're good. We're back. All right, let's serve some slate, run the graphic. I'm assuming Krabs will be joining us very shortly.
Yeah, he'll be on.
And then we'll talk to him about Jack Bauer.
Sure.
Welcome back to Slate Serves, part of the show. Talk about the slate. Give you all the plays, parlays you need. I'm going to reveal my 6:59 a.m. Prize Picks lineup at the end of the show.
Okay.
So just want to keep that in mind. Everybody, wake up.
Gotta wait for it.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Be ready for the cake that I'm about to spew to you for a 6:59 a.m. craft sesh. Just looking at charts. That was just a wake up. Nothing's been working for me on Prize Picks. Had 6 lineups yesterday, lose by 1 leg. And now I just got to lock in at 6:59 and just craft a quickie. Just a quickie in the morning.
Yeah, you were up early.
Earls, dude. What's up, Earls, today? Josh, let's start at the association where the first 3 games are 10+ point spreads. This is what's wrong with the league.
Yeah.
This is what's wrong with the league, dude.
We're getting to the time where teams are going to start benching guys, get them healthy for the playoffs. Teams are benching guys to tank. It's just not going to be fun basketball the rest of the way.
And the highest over-under is 228.
Ugh.
Just junk games. But I'll tell you what, we have a great game. Lakers are playing the Warriors, dude.
Yeah.
That's a great game. Some are saying the best game on the slate, but I'm going to take you to a game that I really want to bet on, Josh.
Yeah.
And I'm going to check the injury report really quick because that's the state of the NBA. You can't make a wager until you look at the 9 guys that are injured for today. I kind of want to take the Raptors plus 4.5 at home today.
I knew you were going to say that.
Why? No Pirtle, no Dick, no Quickly, no Ingram, but he hasn't played since he got traded. I kind of like this Raptors team.
No
Plus
Scoot,
4.5.
no Ayton, no Simons, no Sissoko. It's literally Simons' game time decision.
And now, Scotty Barnes is questionable, so take that with a grain of salt. But as of right now, I kind of like this Raptors team at home plus 4.5.
I feel like that tells you that Scotty Barnes isn't going to play.
You think so? They've been underdogs with him fully healthy, too, so just keep that in mind. Well, I think Emmanuel Quickly being out for rest is probably the reason why, because he's their starting point guard, and now you're looking at potential Jamal Sheed.
Yeah.
potential AJ Lawson getting burned.
Dude, you wanting to bet on that game is psycho behavior.
Well, I'm going to take the Lakers, but I was going to wait for that.
You're going to bet on this game.
I'm going to take the Lakers. And then Intern Mason said the Grizzlies are -4.5 on the road after losing 7 of the last 8. I do like the Grizzlies too. Bounce back after the Heat beat the
I can get behind
doggy out of the team they just played.
I can get behind that. That's for sure.
So maybe Grizzlies -4.5 and the Lakers money line. I like those too. Those are my 2 faves.
Okay.
I wanted to bet.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to bet on the Raptors, but I'm going to stay off wrapped.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Lakers Grizz.
Okay. I don't hate that. I mean, I got fucking literally nothing for you in the NBA plays wise. I would lean. I'm gonna go against you. I kind of like the Warriors, dude. I feel like the Lakers have been such a wagon at home since they've gotten Luka, and everyone's been cashing on them. Seeing the spread at +1.5 with the Warriors, I just feel like
this is the game.
This is the game they drop.
And Curry's feeling red hot.
Yeah, he can't miss. I like the over in that game. I don't hate it.
Oh, I was about to say maybe the OV, the Alex Ovechkin. Did you see him in the bar with the new signee making him go out and drink beers? It's so sick.
OV?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So sick.
I did not see that.
Some guy just got signed to the Caps, took him out to the bar. He's just goated, dude.
What a guy.
He's just goated.
What a guy.
Shout out Alex Ovey. We're taking the over for the Lakers. That's going to be my POD. We didn't do PODs yesterday. POD, Lakers, Warriors over.
Okay.
Or should that be our over of the day?
We did do PODs yesterday. We just didn't post the graph because no Daniel. But we had PODs.
Should we do over the day Lakers?
If you want. Or do you want that to be your POD? What do you want?
Let's do over the day right now because I do want to go through the MLB board with you.
Okay.
You need to be shedded for taking the Rockies money line yesterday. Just want to put that out there.
I mean, what about the other 9 bets that I had?
Well, I'm just saying. Shed.
The only reason I said that was because I didn't say they're going to win that game. I said I'm going to take them +235 because the total's 7. And in a game that's going to be low scoring, I might as well just take +235.
Shed Donima. Thank God I didn't take the Dodgers -1.5, but I almost did.
You did almost do that.
D-backs beat the Yanks. Red Sox. We were kind of sharp Tonimo on the Sox, were we not? Did we say they were going to get them, or did we say the Orioles?
I think we ended up going with the Orioles, but
I think I had a generationally bad day in baseball yesterday. So let's just move.
Let's go through. I mean, we talked about it. The first game, system under. We system under the first game.
System under.
We talked about that. I said the Rays.
I said the Pirates could get one.
Yeah, exactly. Brewers Royals.
I said unbettable.
Under, but we said the under. Remember, it was Peralta and Reagan's. We love that under.
You did.
Said the over in the Angels Cardinals game. We did say that.
You did say that.
We talked about the Twins White Sox. I don't think we gave a.
I said I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about that game. For real. Blue Jays Nats.
Didn't talk about that game.
No, we did. We took the Blue Jays. Or I guess I did maybe.
Maybe you did. I took the A's.
Cubs A's. We said the A's. I agree with you. I thought we were going to lose that game.
I did say the Mets.
And then I don't think we really talked about, the Mets. I don't think we talked about anything else for real, except the Rockies. I think we said the over in the Yankees game that didn't hit.
Didn't squeak. And we did
the
say
over
the
in the Dodgers game. And the over in the Dodgers game, no?
No, we didn't.
We didn't.
Say the over in the Dodgers.
All right, well, that's it. There we go.
All right, let's serve some MLB slate. I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to learn it. So everybody just relax, okay? Relax. Everybody is just bitching.
Let's run the surf slaters one more time. Let's get crabby.
Yeah, that's it. Welcome back to the slate, and we welcome Krabs into the show. Krabs, how are you doing?
Sure we can. I hear you're trying to dabble in some baseball today. Happy to
We
help.
are definitely trying to dabble in some baseball, and we need you for it. But Krabs, I don't know if you were tuned in before this. You were probably prepping for BTL, and that's okay. But we kind of took your head off a little bit.
Oh,
Mikey kind of.
And by we, I mean I, in daylight, took your head off.
Oh, no. What were you talking
Scouting high school baseball players has to stop.
Hey, man, we got blessed getting the number 1 overall pick. I still cannot believe we have it. I'm just doing my due diligence, Mike. I'm just looking around. No better way to start your day off than checking some high school film.
And I think that's the problem, Krabs. I woke up at around 6:30 this morning because I just need to get in an adult rhythm. And I made a 6:59 a.m. prize picks. And then I opened my Twitter. And what do I see? Oh, Krabs just found the next Chris Sale, and he's in high school.
I might have, to be honest with you. We'll find out in a couple years, 5 years when he's in the league. But looks like Chris Sale to me.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Sure.
Krabs, what we did on the show today is we took Jack Bauer's name, we wrote him on the list,
Okay.
and we said, we'll see you when you're 26 in the league.
Yeah. We'll see you in 5 years, brother. You're never going to hear that guy's name again because it's fucking baseball. It takes forever. He'll be lucky to even get to the majors. Right.
We will say, though, Krabs, are you angry that potential Chris Sale is going to UVA?
Wait, what'd you say?
He's going to UVA.
No shot he's committed to UVA.
Yeah, dude,
I
that
didn't even
video.
know that.
So if you click into that dude's tweet, the video you tweeted, Ian Smith,
Okay.
his little breakdown of his pitches.
All right,
little
I'm
pitch
out.
mix.
I'm out if he's going to UVA.
He's committed to UVA.
He's
That kid does not. He doesn't have the hard work. He doesn't have the blue collarness. I don't want that kid anymore. No, he is no number one pick of mine.
Oh, that's so good.
We went from Chris Sale to I'm out.
Yeah, that kid's a bust. I can already tell. No shot he makes it to the league. You kidding me?
This is no heart. He's got no heart. Jack Bauer, no heart, dude. Let's get his name off the
Zero
list.
heart. Yeah, scratch him off. Good.
All right, we scratched him off the list. That's fucking hysterical, dude. That's just the TMA effect.
Sure we can.
All right, so Krabs, Josh and I, Josh, self-proclaimed baseball guy, me, just not a big
Sure.
baseball guy, trying to get into it this year because I'd like to be more invested in it. I'm obviously really invested in the Athletics, so I've been trying to watch all their games. If I can't watch a game, I try to watch every at-bat for the A's. And it's been fun. I understand the joy of watching baseball because you just get so much of your team and you get to watch them, and it is fun. And the sport is very romantic. But in terms of betting it night in, night out, it makes you want to rip my hair out. So we're going to lean on you and Josh, self-proclaimed baseball guy Josh, in this segment here, just going through the slate.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, not many games today, so super down. We got 5 games and a couple that are starting up pretty early, right? A couple 1 p.m.ers. Do we want to just briefly talk about each game real quick? Probably won't take us long.
I would love that. I don't want to, obviously, I'm not going to lie, dude. After every show now, we put on BTL because I need to hear you guys talk about baseball because I'm just so unknowledgeable about it. And listening to you and Jovan talk about it makes me feel informed. However, make no mistake, I will still fire off some ratchet baseball takes just to get Goots' blood boiling. But I will say this. I don't want to jack BTL's swag in the Sharpport, so I don't want you to give away too much, but I would like to go through every game if that's okay.
Yeah, let's run it.
Okay.
Let's run it.
So I'm going to do,
yeah,
let's do this. I'll tell you what my poopy baseball brain says, and then we'll go to you, and then we'll go to self-proclaimed baseball guy Josh.
Okay.
I'm in.
How do you not just on back-to-back games take the Phillies -1.5? I don't know if that's like the Rockies are rat shit, correct? And I'm getting Tawan Walker. Is he? I feel like he's historically a great pitcher. Why not just take the -1.5?
I would not say historically a great pitcher.
Last couple of years, he's been one of the worst. He's had the Patrick Corbin effect.
So this is why I need you guys.
Yeah.
This is why I need you guys. This is why I need you guys.
I think this is a game I think Krabs might be able to agree where you just close your eyes, take the over, and just fade these 2 moose shit pitchers with a total of 10.
Jovan had a good point when we were talking about BTL earlier. He said a lot of these totals are pretty high today in baseball, and probably for good reason. I think there's a lot of wind blowing out today. And this is one of those games as well, Mike, where the total probably wouldn't typically be sitting at 10 in this game, right? I mean, obviously Phillies can put up plenty of runs against Senzatella, who's atrocious. And the same thing could be said for the Rockies putting up a couple runs against Tawan Walker. But this total's high as heck. I think this could be just a blind over and stay away from the sides because laying 1.5 against the Rockies, as much as it makes sense, it doesn't work out as much as you'd think. But I like backing both bats here in the spot, and with the wind blowing out, that's only going to help.
Okay, I can get behind 10.
Also, I think the final score yesterday was 3-1. Super low scoring game for both 4-1. Super low scoring game from both teams, though.
Yeah.
I think we was expected to put up a little more runs yesterday.
Like St. John is saying in the chat, Senzatella is atrocious. I mean, the Phillies have no excuses. They should go out there and put up a 5 spot on him in the first.
I like the over, and I'm not going to lie to you. My baseball poopy brain is going to make me take the Phillies. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to spend any time talking you off of it because I do think it wins. I do think it hits. Senzatella is that bad. I just wouldn't be shocked if Tawan Walker gives up a couple turkeys himself. Yeah, and the game's a little closer early on. Yep.
Krabs, something you guys talked about BTL, I think it was either yesterday or the day before that I thought was really interesting. And I think after betting on them yesterday just came unbelievably true. It seems like, and you guys said it, so I'm taking the words out of your guys' mouth. Whatever is sharp or right in the Orioles game never goes right. The Orioles should have won yesterday, just looking at it on tape. And now today, I feel like on tape, again, I want to take the Orioles, but
Yes.
What do you do with this team? Are they already unbettable?
Whatever is the sharp play in the Orioles game, if you take the opposite, you're rich. And as crazy as that sounds, it really is that simple. And this is something we kind of figured out last year. And it's been pretty profitable over the last, 2-ish seasons or so. You figure out what's the sharp play in the Orioles game. You take the opposite, you make coins. It's a 3-step process. Okay. So what's sharp in this game today? Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. Tanner Hoke had a great year last year, but all the baseball sharps will tell you no starting pitcher really due for more regression than that guy, Tanner Hoke, who I'm so off the bandwagon for him. I think he gets mucked up today, but Charlie Morton also has an 11 ERA. I know he's only had one start today, but didn't go too well for the old veteran. So another game with a high total that's moving up as well. Another game that has some wind blowing out, which should help some runs, should be a pretty solid game. But I'd say the sharp play here, it's probably the Red Sox, to be honest with you, at plus chicken with Tanner Hoke on the bump.
Yeah.
So it's probably the O's. You flip that motherfucker and you take the O's, and that's probably the play you want to lock in on the ML. I feel like people would rather take Tanner Hoke at plus 105 against old man Charlie Morton and the Red Sox to get another win after last night's than probably take 10 ERA Charlie Morton against former All-Star Hoke. I kind of think Boston's a sharp play, which means you take the opposite. You take the Orioles.
That's
what you end up locking in.
I don't.
It's a weird process, but it works.
In this game, honestly, like this is just
It
a
works.
weird game. Like I probably will not be touching anything in this game, just because I feel like you look at Charlie Morton, just name wise, I feel like he's a name that everybody that's a baseball fan knows.
Oh, he's a name.
Being
I know.
minus 120 against the Red Sox, who have been pretty abysmal. I don't know. I can't get behind either side on this game, and I have no read on the Red Sox. Like I can't get a read on them.
Could we
Are they good or are they terrible?
Could we potentially go Ovi, Alex Ovechkin?
Yeah, I'm seeing right now Prime's on the over. So that kind of scares me a little bit.
All right, let's chalk the over.
Let's not do that.
But I certainly would not be on the under. This is another win game with the total moving up, and it's a higher total than you'd probably expect with Tanner Hoke and Charlie Morton involved. Although they've had bad first starts, those are big name guys. I'd say, the over is probably in play there, to be honest with you, with the wind. 2 games, 2 overs so far.
I've just had one of the most insane sneezes of all time into that blanket.
Sure,
I feel like the ground.
Sneezing into a blanket is also
no way we're sneezing into a blanket.
Lauren, keep in mind the octagon blanket now has Rav boogies all over it. Dude, it's okay. If there's one show you can disrupt with noise, it's fucking TMA.
You can make up for it with the Surge Stream host today. Rav can get it all back. Rav,
let's go.
You're hosting today.
Let's go.
Yeah, picking up the slack. Sure, you can
move on from that. No, I'm just kidding. Krabs, a team that I feel like has just had its way with my body over the summers because I can just never click their button, especially with this guy in the bump. The Twins just remind me of the Kraken. It seems like you want to take them, and you take them. They bang your soul out, and then you go, wow, this is the perfect spot to fade the Twins.
Yeah.
And then they bang you out.
Yep.
And it just feels like I can never be on the right side of the Twins. Maybe it's just a personal thing with me. But I've never been on the right side of a Twins wager, but I like them to beat the crap out of the Astros here, and I don't know if that's just bad brain.
I don't know exactly what side I like. Yes, both these starting pitchers are good. They're 2 young, good arms. The term future ace has been thrown around for both of these guys, probably more Joe Ryan than Hunter Brown, but Hunter Brown is a respected, good young arm. He had a good season last year, and he had a good first start. So did Joe Ryan, though. He's got a sub-2 ERA after that first start. I'll be honest with you. This is the anti-Mikey Overs game. This is the under, stinky, you take a nap during it because nothing's really going on, square under that I'm going to actually lock in. And I like no runs, and I like 2 pitchers' totals. The Astros are coming off a couple games where they scored some runs, actually, for the first time this season, and we saw a couple overs. 2 overs in their last 3 games. And then the Twins, after being abysmal to start the season, they're finally starting to get going here. They've won their last 2 games, and they've hit 4 straight overs. So this is the time for me to hop on, fade that trend, and lock in the under. And this total's moving down from 7.5 to 7. I think we get a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel between these 2 great young arms.
Krabs, can I say something I think is going to surprise you?
Sure.
I might, this year for the first time ever, be able to get behind a couple baseball unders.
No,
because in my head, watching fun pitching is fun.
It is. Watching guys deal. 100%.
It's different than like an NBA under or a college basketball under where like watching bad basketball blows wiener, but watching like Skenes dish is fun.
It could be fun. Some people prefer that.
I don't know if Hunter Brown and Joe Ryan is my go-to under. If that's where I get my feet wet. But I'll tell you what, though, I could get behind a couple this year because watching flamethrowers flame is cool.
I could have convinced you probably yesterday on that Scooball under.
Yeah, like
in the Tigers game.
These two
Tiger and Castillo.
These two lineups are just torn apart. I mean, the Astros literally got rid of every single player that's good on their team pretty much. And the Twins are rat. These two pitchers are actually like legit guys. The fact that this total's at 7-2, and they're not like massive names either. They're just good pitchers. I feel like it just telling that this game soars. Also, the plus 1.5 being minus 200. Like it's gonna be a close, low scoring game.
Agreed. And I probably lean the Twins, but I'm not laying minus 130 after they've won the last two games. I think the under's the play here. No fun under 7 in Houston and Minnesota.
Okay. I don't know if this is the under I'm going to dip my toes on, but I'm just letting you know I'm open to the unders.
Next time there's a couple goats on the bump, like a Paul Skenes or a Scooball or one of the Cole Reagans, and you got a Mariners pitcher on the other side, I'll hit your line. Maybe we can get you involved on an under.
I would love that. A Skenes Scooball under I would bust.
Sure.
I don't know if that will ever happen, but that would be sick.
Might make too much sense for me too, but if we ever get there,
God damn
that total would be 5.5.
Yeah. Facts.
Krabs, I know you hate this team. I hate this team because I grew up around all their fucking rad shit, piece of shit fans that just want to throw gabagool around the stadium all day. You can never convince me to bet on the Yankees, but also this does feel like a spot after the Diamondbacks beat them that the Yankees win.
Yeah, you got, Carlos Carrasco out there who's notoriously just an atrocious arm. There's BP, and he got roughed up in his only outing so far this season, going against Merrill Kelly, former KBO legend, great story guy, forgot how to pitch, went over to Korea for a couple years, reinvented his game, came back over, and he's been pretty solid since. Arizona low-key on fire as well. Arizona, a team that I liked. We talked about him a little bit on the pods, a team that I'm pretty high on this season. I think we might get Arizona's best this year. Corbin Carroll returning to form as well. We might see a team similar to when they made a run to the World Series a couple years ago. But yes, looking at the lines and looking at this matchup, I'd say the sharp play would be the Yankees coming off of 2 losses with Carlos Carrasco up there in his 13 ERA against Merrill Kelly in his 1.69 ERA. Pretty wild to see the Yankees catching a little bit of steam. I know they're going to get line respect. They're always going to get a little bit more line respect than any other team. They have the Yankee tax. That's just how life works. They just get more bets. And, for that reason, they get more line respect on the ML. They're going to be minus 120 instead of minus 110. That's just how it works with the Yankees. But even with that being the case today, even if they were minus 110, I'd still like the Yankees, and I still think that's the sharp play here. Pretty weird seeing them catch some line respect with a moose shit starting pitcher.
What about the Alexander Ovechkin?
Yeah, the over. I mean, another total at 10 as well. The only under I'm really going to recommend today is that Houston, Minnesota one that we just talked about. All the other overs, I think, are good to go. And all the other overs and totals are going to be affected by the wind in those other 4 games, including this one. So, there's a reason why these other totals are very high. I know the Yankees have been mashing with these fucking torpedo bats, and Arizona has done their job as well offensively, but that's not the only reason why this total's that high. The wind helps as well. And I would not be getting nasty on any unders in those games.
Also, short porch in New York, correct? That's where it's at.
That helps.
I kind of just
certainly helps.
I'm going to cut the shit and just go with the Yankees team total, I think. Minus 130.
Yeah, you could go with Yankees team total.
Just 4.5. The total is 10. So it's just, get 5. And the other team get 5. You push the total, whatever.
Do you know how many parlays today are going to be made of cut the shit, Lakers, Yankees, ML?
Yeah, cut the shit.
Lakers fans are drooling at the thought of the Yankees being minus 120.
Yeah. Yes, they are. It does not happen very often. You're right. That is a little scary.
Dude, Chiefs fans are literally drooling at the thought of the Lakers and the Yankees being short favorites at home.
You might see some 3-pieces locked in with those 2 MLs today, and then Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. There will be a ticket out there.
That'd be so fucking funny. Krabs, a guy that I hated just because he was on the team we just talked about and is just a complete bot. Nasty Nestor's playing Trent's favorite, Nick Lodolo. What is your read on the Reds this year? And also the Brewers remind me of the Twins. I can never be on the right side.
Yeah. The Brewers not out to a great start this season. I feel like in years past, they've been a little bit more reliable, and they've been a team that I respect. They're an organization that does the most with the guys they have. They're very good at developing their players. They're not, typically bringing in stars, or they're not signing the next Aaron Judge, right? But, they're homegrown. They're hard workers, pretty much, that Milwaukee organization is. So I've always respected them. Off to a pretty bad start this season. Their bats are atrocious. Their bullpen, which is typically good, has been getting destroyed. And Nestor Cortez, we remember what happened when he made his first start this season for the Brew Crew. Maybe the worst outing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the guy left the stadium in the third inning. He was not available for the media afterwards because he was gone. He got the fuck out of there. I don't blame him, to be honest with you, probably for safety reasons, honestly, after he was a former Yankee. But this guy's going up there today against Lodolo. A little bit surprised to see, the Milwaukee Brewers laying -120, but they are coming off of their first 2 wins of the season. So, and they are home, right? And the Reds have not done anything to really impress people that much either. They're 2-4 this season as well, just like Milwaukee. But Lodolo is definitely a more respected arm at this point of his career than Nestor Cortez. And especially with recency bias, who the heck wants to go anywhere near the Brewers -120 as favorites with Nestor Cortez in the bump after that atrocious start? I might be the only person that does on earth, I'll be honest with you. And I do think that's probably the sharp play here, is the over. You're getting runs. Both these starting pitchers, they stink. But I like the Brew Crew on the ML here as well.
And Prime's on the Brewers too, so just get off that real quick.
Okay.
Krabs, I'm gonna have to ask you to evacuate off the Brew Crew.
Run.
I'm just kidding.
As far away as
You
you
gotta
can.
like this over though. This feels like a sneaky late night over. Not late.
I think you could take 4 overs today on the diamond, and you probably make coins in every game besides Houston and Minnesota.
Krabs, you're talking dirty right now.
And you're probably going 3-1, right? Maybe you go 2-2 and you eat some juice and you go about your day. You're not losing sleep over it. But I think
All
you're
right, so
going
Krabs,
3-1 there.
since you guys are going to post a sharp report, we're not going to make you be on the POD chart. Our over of the day is going to be the Lakers over with the Warriors.
Sure.
I would like to collab my POD with you because I could fall in love with one of these plays, but I just want your sign of approval on a baseball play for a POD because my last baseball POD was fucking rat shit.
What are we thinking here? What's feeling right?
Dude, I'm kind of leaning
Looking
that
at the
Phillies
diamond.
Rockies over.
Yeah, I like it. The over 10.
Can we do that?
High
Do you
ass
like that
total.
enough to co-sign?
Oh, yeah. Bro, I'm looking at that total and I'm thinking, is this game being played in Coors? What's going on here?
Dude, I
I'm looking,
literally saw that. I thought the same thing. Then I was like, it's not. I'm for sure taking the over.
yeah, I'm so in for that. That's honestly the play that we talked about that I want you to say the most.
All right, let's do that.
guys,
My POD will be Phillies Rockies over with the Krabs seal of approval.
Sure.
Josh,
Yeah.
POD?
I think I'm gonna go to the under in that Twins Astros game.
I love that too. Krabs seal of approval as well.
Under 7.
Love
All right,
it.
and then we'll get Krabs
Love
sharp
that
report. Can we do Prize Picks really quick? And can I tell you guys my 6:59 a.m. lineup, and then we'll make one a little 3-piece together?
Hell yeah.
My 6:59 a.m. lineup. Wow, I already had someone in the Phillies game. I'm fucking goated. I kind of forgot that I placed this because 6:59 I placed it. Saw Krabs talk about high school ball, put my phone away, and ate breakfast. Bryce Harper fantasy score more than 7.5. Really
Sure.
weird chart, really high fantasy for how moose shit he's been the past 2.
Yeah. Yep.
D'Angelo
I'm in.
Russell, points, rebounds, and assists against the Minnesota Timberwolves after he said the only thing Minnesota is missing is him and Karl Anthony Towns. I think this is a prove-it spot for him in the Nets.
Ooh, revenge game.
Adley Rutschman hitter fantasy score more than. Really weird chart, really high fantasies. And I feel like what always happens with us in baseball, if the world was on him yesterday, he comes through today. Scotty Barnes, more than PRA in that Raptors game. They're missing everybody. And if he plays, I think he goes over. That's my 4-piece.
Let's go, Scotty.
Can we build a little 3-piece together as well?
Yeah, that was my 6:59 a.m.
No, yeah. I just want,
But let's do
Dude,
it.
I like those squares.
I kind of
those
like my
squares.
baseball
$2.
squares a lot. I might just do Harper Rutschman 2-piece Gobby. Not Gobby,
Sure.
but I'm saying Busty.
Yeah.
Harper's got to get going today.
He's got it. Dude.
Okay.
All right, let's go to let's talk about what we like first and then go Prize Picks. We like the under in the Astros Twins. So maybe we look at Joe Ryan and Hunter Brown.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Joe Ryan because I kind of like the Twins in the game a little more.
Okay.
I also love the under.
His fantasy is so
That's
high.
what I want to take. The 35.5. He just had 25, I believe. 27 last game. Wasn't even close to that.
Okay.
I think
I
we just
love
take his
that.
fantasy.
I love that.
Krabs?
I'm in.
Let's go.
I'm super in.
We're looking at, we like overs in Colorado or in Philadelphia, potentially in Baltimore, and we like sneaky overs in the Brewers. Which game do you think we'd be more inclined to put a square in out of those?
If you want to diversify and not put another Philly in here, I'm good with that.
I'm good for a Philly, Krabs. I'm good for a Philly, dude. I'm good with I'm good with non-diversification because this is going to be my 6:59 a.m. lineup is if it hits, I'm goated. If it doesn't, I don't want to talk about it.
Let me look through some of these other guys real quick. Brandon Marsh has just an absurd hit run RBI square up there. It's looking to be kind of funny.
What about Ezekiel Tovar, Krabs?
He's on the Rockies, I believe.
Yeah, he's up for 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Hasn't gotten a single one in the last 2 against them.
Okay. Yeah, Tovar's a good hitter. Let me look at that square. Extremely Reds. I want to check some odds as well. I like that square a lot too. And I like runs from both sides, but I do think Philly ends up winning this game.
His fantasy score is 5.5. He's had 0 the last 2 as well. 0 fantasy.
Right. Let's see what the juice is looking like on the hit run RBI squares. Let's see.
Dude, Bryce Harper's fantasy is also looking at me so weird again. I'll just say it.
Yeah, and
he's averaging 3 his last 3.
Yeah, but it's not like seeing him at 7.5.
Yeah, you're not going to. It's not right home to your mother.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What is your favorite thing to look at, Krabs? Is it hits, runs, RBIs, or is it fantasies?
It depends on the guy. So if the guy is more prone to getting some walks or if he's more prone to getting some steals, I'd rather take his fantasy score. But if he's more just like a fucking slow ass dude who goes up there and crushes baseballs, rather probably go with the hit run RBI type angle. So depends on the guy. And I'll tell you what, Tovar's up there for 1.5 hit run RBIs and he's minus 130 on the books. Certainly wouldn't mind going with that one or Brandon Marsh, who's minus 125, but
I'm in on Tovar. Can we do Tovar?
Either one. Yeah.
All right, Tovar will be.
This is a game you could take a lot of squares in this game, and I think you're going to be pretty happy.
Okay, let's go. Tovar, my square. Krabs, what do you want to round us off with?
Which one was your square again, Mike? I want to put the puppy in there real quick.
Tovar, hits, runs, RBIs, and then Josh was Joe Ryan fantasies.
Joe Ryan, yes.
Krabs come to the conclusion. Also, Josh Naylor hasn't had a hit run RBI in the past 2, and he's up for 1.5.
Damn. Josh Naylor cost them a game the other night too, with a terrible defensive play against the Yankees.
But Krabs, I don't want to interfere with your cooking. You do.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz also up for a weird hit run RBI, but do your thing.
A game we haven't talked about, and this could be a good way to close it out, is the NIT game tonight. You guys dabble in the NIT or no?
We have.
You got Chattanooga, who's been on absolute fire. They're a cohesive unit out there. They don't have the best team, but they don't have the best talent, but they have the best team overall. They have the best team chem. They had a great post-game presser after their last win. The whole squad came over. They were all gassing each other up. And one of the best players on their opponent tonight, UC Irvine, actually played on Chattanooga last year, Miles Che. I don't know if you guys have heard of this kid, but he's a bucket. The next Jeremy Lin, people are calling him, not me, but some people are. This kid's a stud, played there last year at Chattanooga. Now he's one of the better players on UC Irvine. After the game last rounds, one of the best players, Hunter Huff on Chattanooga, said, "Hey, Miles Che, you're the man, but you're going down. We're going to beat you tomorrow, or we're going to beat you in that next game." He said that. And I agree. I kind of want to take Hunter Huff, something.
Wow, you pitched the perfect reason to take Miles Che, and now we're going left.
Yeah, because I want to fade Miles Che in the revenge game, I'll be honest, but I don't want to pitch that less than on here. That's not worth our time. That might be a little too gross. But I would like to back Hunter Huff, the start guard who is chirping Miles Che.
Fantasies or points?
Acting like he's Kyrie Irving. I'd probably go with his fantasy score, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I like that too.
Keep the ball secure, more than 21.5. He was talking a lot of smack.
Hunter Huff.
Hunter Huff. Sure we can.
I like it.
Yeah. Miles Che is playing out of his mind right now, but I can't get there with him on the more than. I want to fade him. Let's take Hunter Huff, the glue guy here for Chattanooga. And I think they're a live dog once again. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game and win the NIT.
I really like that. Right? Joe Ryan, fantasy more than. Ezekiel Tovar, more than hits, runs, RBIs. And Honor Huff. Fantasy
Sure we
score. Huff. Honor Huff. Huff and puff. More Huff, more puff. Honor
Literally
Huff
Huff and Puff. Honor Huff.
more than fantasy score. That's a teammate 3-piece. I love that today, actually.
I do. I love it.
Really like it.
Yeah.
Feels
I just locked it in.
This does feel
I'm going to drop the link here in the chat as well, gents. If anybody wants to stay.
well, I'm going to send that to intern Mason right now.
Also, I just want to say this. It's hilarious. The Cowboys have gotten Joe Milton, Javonte Williams, and who else this offseason?
Yeah, are they
Yeah,
just
Joe
trying to
Milton.
get those dog shit backups of all time? What are they doing?
Yeah, they traded a 5th round
Why
pick.
didn't you tell me
What are they
Joe
doing?
Milton found a new home?
You found a new
Joe
home
Milton found a new home earlier
When?
today. Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
But when did he do that?
this morning.
Oh, well, you
Jerry
should've talked-
Jones is pulling. He's pulling another Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Right. He's trying to scare Dak Prescott into playing better for some reason. I don't know. It didn't work last time. He's trying it again. Fucking idiot.
Also, Krabs, just want to throw this out there. Intern Mason, huge baseball guy. Might be worth a shout on BTL for a 5-minute seg.
Sure, we can. Okay, Intern
Actually, his
Mason.
favorite sport.
All right, good to know. We're gonna need some bodies over the next couple weeks, so we'll get them on there.
Let's go.
W Intern Mason, W plug.
W's.
Okay.
However, worse better at the company, which is going very under the radar. Literally worse better at the
Yeah,
company.
Had to squeak that one in there, huh?
I actually had to squeak that in because it's true.
It might be true.
Potentially
true.
worse better at company and Bookit
Well,
Trent.
maybe we'll get him on and we'll fade all his plays. That could work.
I like that.
That could be the
dude.
move.
Yeah, let's get Intern Mason on BTL. Fade everything that comes out of his mouth.
That could be the move.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about it on TMA.
We'll go back into Warden Krabs mode. I'll pretend like he's a pledge. We'll make him feel very uncomfortable. I'm in.
I like
Sign
it.
me up.
All right, Krabs. As always, thank you for coming on, bro. We really appreciate it.
Sure. Have a
We'll
day.
be
Keep
ready.
killing it, gents. Good luck out there.
Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Yep.
All right,
Oh.
Josh, say goodbye to chat. We'll wrap this up quickly because we got BTL coming up next.
Will be everyone. Let's have a day, an absolute day. I feel like the diamond's gonna pay today, dude.
I do too.
There's a
I'm
limited
feeling
slate.
I'm
We
gonna put a
locked
platter
in.
out.
We locked in on that slate too. I feel really good about like 3 or 4 of those games. I think we cooked.
I agree. I'm in. I'm in on the diamond today. I'm going to put out a platter day because I feel prepared. And that's why I like Krabs Thursdays with baseball. I feel prepared for these games. All right, Chad, we end every episode with a little bit of Mikey Core. We talk about some things that are going on in life, hopefully something that helps you get through your day, or hopefully maybe you're going through something that's really been affecting your mental health and you just need a little bump here, a little bump in positivity. You just need a little bump in your energy. And I want to talk about something that Marcus Aurelius wrote. I am, been going back through his meditations now that I'm doing more work on myself to see if I can take anything more from it. And you're supposed to read meditations like 10 times. That's what everyone that's really successful and that has talked about that book is you read it like 10 times. And one of the things that I really want to talk about is he talks about this idea of if something bad happens, say good. What new opportunities does this bring about? And how can I interpret it to benefit me? And I think that happened yesterday where we talked about the same message. And I think this is just phenomenal when you think about a Roman emperor, all the things that they go through, all the things that they had to battle through, and all the things he had to go through to become the emperor. And think about that mindset as you approach your day. Because bad things are going to happen to you every day. They're going to. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, you're going to have a great day if you just wake up and say you're going to have a great day. Bad things are going to happen whether you want them to or not. And I think what I'm trying to do with my mindset so that I don't ruin the people's days around me, so that I don't ruin my months and my years is now when something bad happens, be okay with feeling those emotions. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be upset. But then be able to go, okay, this might have been really bad. What new opportunity does this bring about for me in my life? And how can I now interpret this bad thing instead of just going, wow, that sucked. That was horrible. How can I now interpret this so that it benefits me moving forward and I can become a better person off of it? And I think it bleeds perfectly into just take one step forward. Because if we take one step forward every single day and we just attempt to, because I think we've learned through doing the show that the attempt is more important than the result. And if we just attempt to take a step forward every single day, we're going to be better people than we are today this time next year. And be able to go through those bad moments and be able to go through a bad moment and go, okay, what did I take from this? How did this change me? And how can I now kind of interpret this to go, wow, I'm actually really happy that happened to me, even if it was a really, really, really bad event and it affected me in a really negative way. And I'm going to end it with this because this is what Marcus Aurelius wrote and I love it. The obstacle becomes the way. Every new event brings about new opportunities. The idea of the obstacle becoming the way. Don't look at an obstacle and shy away and run away from it. Make the obstacles the way. And every obstacle becomes a little bit easier when you do that. I love you. If you haven't heard that today, I love you. Go tune into BTL right now. Same channel. They're going to give you the sharp part. They're going to give you the baseball plays. Hopefully we prepared you a little bit so you can go in there with some base knowledge. But then listen to the real ball talkers, ball knowers talked about ball. I love you guys so much. Shout out Tony's better than Mike Trout. He's a fucking bum. Can't be available. Availability is the best ability. Shout out. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same time, same place.